Slot's attempts to play fluid combinations is not working because of poor player relations and technical inconsistencies. So we will break down some situations where Liverpool could have done much better but failed due to the above mentioned issues. When your center midfielder makes a decent run to destabilize the pressing structure, the wide attacker will probably get a potential loophole to exploit. Three players are drawn to one spot because of the run, and now Wirtz can access the diagonal to the striker. He has spotted the loophole, and now it's a matter of quick diagonal pass before the midfielder reacts. But the problem is, Wirtz is too slow. He can make the pass as soon as he spotted him, but he is trying to be the perfectionist by looking at the ball and then making a clean pass. It looks good on the ice, and he will feel like making a good technical pass. But the reality is, it's too slow considering the standards of the opposition players around you. It may work against a weaker opposition, but here, as soon as he made that glance at the ball, the midfielder reacted. That glance was unnecessary, and he could have made the pass as soon as he spotted Ekitike. Even though the pass was intercepted, luckily the striker got it. But now again, the question is there anyone who can combine with him? Or is he supposed to train and carry the ball in such a tiny space? A combination possibility makes things easier for the player. Then he can have two choices. He can either carry or make use of the teammate, or he may even make a first touch flick to his teammate and then receive it back to drive at the defender. All these are simple possibilities that can be explored. But here Ekitike is forced to do it all by himself. The idea of Wirtz to initiate the combination is good. But the problem is, other than those two, there is no one in a position to support such combinations. If your striker is a bit wide away from his central position, then there should be someone to occupy these areas. In an ideal case, either the winger should invert and fullback should provide the width. Here both are almost in the same lane. Even if the fullback goes high, there is a midfielder centrally to provide the defensive cover. Or maybe he can move high because Szoboszlai is better than both Bradley and Frimpong for tight space activities. But here nothing is happening and everything is static. He made that run after Ekitike beat the pressure. This is standard movement expected from anyone. But if you want to really make use of such ideas, you should be already be there to provide support. Here Ekitike had to do all by himself and he couldn't do much against the pressure. After a few minutes, they had a similar diagonal possibility, but this time it looks better with more players in close proximity. It's an ideal situation for creating any kind of combinations. And here Jones tried an alternative which will open further more possibilities. Contrary to the previous sequence, now Szoboszlai is positioned high and it made this combination possible. But now the problem was technical inconsistency. Wirtz is expected to beat at least one man to enter the penalty area. But he failed, and this is what I observed in most of their attacks. Either the players failed to understand each other or make poor technical actions and lost the ball. This is another situation where they could have explored the diagonal relation possibility. Jones did a good job as he understood Wirtz's idea from his movement. Wirtz's pass was meant to Szoboszlai, but it luckily reached Ekitike. If Szoboszlai connected it, things could have been better, as Wirtz can drive at the back lane with Ekitike pushing them back. But here it ended up in a complicated situation, and they lost it again. Another complex situation which is very difficult to execute for the hold-up striker. You can't simply play the ball to a striker under pressure unless there is a potential loophole which can be exploited. Ideally, the ball should be played away from the defender, and there should be a visual cue from the striker on where to play. Here Jones simply played it because he got a passing lane available. That's not how good combinations work. You should have that empathy to understand each other, to know when, where and how to play such passes. The same player showed good understanding with Szoboszlai, but this is a relatively simple situation. So Jones is capable, but I don't think he has enough empathy to play in more complex situations. I could note more than 10 situations from a single game where Liverpool failed in possible combination plays. For me, it's because they are missing those relations between the players. Some players don't have intuitive movements to support their teammates. Wirtz and Ekitike is better in terms of relations, but technically inconsistent. The solution is to make them better in this aspect by proper training ground practice. At the same time, players should be allowed to do more of this on match days. This will naturally give them confidence to experiment more. You can't really abandon these ideas as it will simply limit the attacking potential of both Wirtz and Ekitike. So Slot should find ways to turn things around, or Liverpool will continue to struggle with inconsistency.